Alright, good morning all. We're back to our NextJS Python flags projects where we are learning UI development first, and yesterday we were able to see how to integrate Bootstrap, and today I want us to have a look at sorry Mike, I correct that assignment and make it lesson 6. It's lesson 6 and day 6. Be going by the days. The days should tally with the license. That's what I mean. Now lesson 7. How to spell 7? Alright, lesson 7. We want to see how to introduce headers in our work, plus some layout, not only headers, some things anyway. Header, navbar, plus some components maybe. That's what we want to do. And this is our application running. Maybe I will create another menu, another process of this browser, so I have it somewhere, and I can interact with that of the Bootstrap alone. So here I want us to have a navbar here, a header at the top here. So how? Now this is Bootstrap. You can just type in header, or you go to okay, it's giving me header based on then you see navbar, not header. It's giving me h1, h2. You know, they are also called headers, right? So it's called navbar, navigation bar, right? Navigation bar. Good. Please look at where we are browsing here. This is a navigation bar. I think this is another one. It contains nothing, but then there is what? It has a logo here. This is another one. Can we go with this? But you know, when you copy it, you cannot just use it as it is. You have to customize. That's it. You have to customize it. These are just templates. I think we can pick any. Let me go by this. Let's first of all see how responsive the navbar is. Can you see what's happening? Look at how it is. When I reduce the size of the screen, it does what? It collapses. Can you see? Yes. So ours should be able to do this as well. So I'm going to copy this. It's being copied, and then okay, instead of okay, before I make use of what I've copied, let's try to understand something here. You know, this is our page. This page is standing on its own, which is called what? Page, right? It's like our index, if you like, if you understand. So I want us to introduce something here. I want the navbar to be here at the top. And the nav by itself is going to be a page, but inside what we call component. So let's have, this is our app, right? This is the structure of our application. Let me do something like this. So this is the structure. I have an app here. All these are under the parent directory, which is tut portal, right? So now I can create another folder here. I can do it from the command prompt, and I can do it from here. This folder, I will give it name components. Components. And inside component, I'm going to create a file, and I call it header. Header as a component, header.js. Are we there? Header.js is a component. By convention, we always start components. We start the naming of component with capital letter.
So the component will create on the public. Instead of parent class.
Under?
Public. Instead of parent class. It's supposed to be outside on the side.
No, look at what stud portal, public, okay, yeah. Thank you. It's supposed to be on its own. Yes. Okay, maybe I've selected it before. Anyway, then let me delete. We made a mistake. Instead of creating it as a folder on the root directory, we created on. I need to click on this, right? Then I create a component. Then inside component, we create what? A file called what? Header.js. By convention, we start naming components by capitalizing the initials. So here I can now write the content of header. If you like, you can say RFCE. Let me see if it can give me what I want. Yes, this is it. This is a code. RFCE. It gives you what? The content is supposed to be inside what? Header. If you look at what is inside if you look at what is inside page, it's something. We only say function and then we call the name of the function, but then we have exported it right from definition. But here we just said function header and later we exported it, right? I don't know whether we are getting what. Actually, this is a JS something. This is the content. If you do not understand, we can erase it and write it ourselves. But then if you write RFCE, it will give you that. But you must have to have what we call ES7 as an extension. If you come to extension, then you pick this ES7, this very one, or any other one. I think it will give you. It's the one that will enable you to be writing this. It will be giving you these shorthands. Or so also, if you want to be having kind of autocomplete, AI something, then you go for something called tab line. I think. Yes, tab line. Huh? No, it's tab. Look at it here. Tab 9. It's not line. It's tab 9. Tab 9. So you pick any of the one you think it's okay by you. Tab 9. Then it will be giving you autocomplete and all that. But then if you don't know how to do this, all we need to do is just to create a method inside the function. It's a function inside the class, and you give it the name of the function. Most cases, function name carries the name of the method, the name of the class. Then you export it later, and then you write what we want to write here. So here, this now header is a component. Now I'm going to ask you this question. This page is our index page, landing page. If you don't understand index, it is the page that got loaded whenever we execute our project. Why? Because we have something called layout here, another JS file called layout, and this JS file is the entry point. It is the what? Entry point. So this entry point will be executed, and the entry point calls the page.js as what? As the first page, or as the index page. So this is what's happening here. It calls all the children, and then it passes it on the body. You know, we have body, right? We have body of the HTML, right? So it will call it. We're going to discuss these children, don't worry. We're going to discuss them. Their parameters, if you like, the properties. They are properties of the class. So it calls it, and then it passes it through the body, and the body, then the page gets executed. So that's why you see that. Then I now want to call header. Now if I want to execute header, I cannot execute header as it is now, but then I should be able to do something like this. I should be able to add it here in this page, in the index page. How do I do that? It's very simple. This is how the web technology is. If you are into Ruby, Java, if you are into PHP, if you are into whatever kind of programming language that does, web application development, does same thing. Only that the commands are changing from one programming language to another. If you are into parentheses, it says UI include. That means I can include a component inside another. That is a page inside another what? Page. This is a page on its own. I can include it inside another page, and I can include another page inside this page. That's why if I include header here, it becomes header. If I include footer, it becomes footer down there. So how do I do that? Come over here. This is what? This is our this is our page, and this is the container. So if anything I add on top there, if I want to introduce header now, if I want to, I just call it like this. I call it as a component. Can you see something here? But then it needs to be imported. I need to import this from where? From components, and from header, right? So I do that, and I save. Can you see? Header. Is it? Yes, that's what is written in. Look at what we have there. Let me say welcome to CCL, Cloudsoft Consulting Limited. Dash header. Can you see what's writing? So that means we have included a page inside what? Inside another page. So this is how you do. All you need to do is just to come over here in the page you want to put in another page. Just call the component, and it will be there. But I think it should not be. It should be something like this. Should be on its own. Okay, let me see. Yes, it has to be within the container. but I can introduce another container that takes this anyway, no problem. So I think it will be good for us to do something like this, so we'll be seeing what is happening, right? So that's what we have. That's what we have. Header. Now if I should if I need some paddings, what do? That's why I wanted to, anyway, I think this should have another div, right? Yes. Let me give it another div. This div I can give it anything. Right? Welcome salam. Bismillah. Kuce ciki lafiya? Yes, I think this is relatively okay, even though with time we are going to do some modifications there. So here I can now distance the header from this by introducing our class name, and then we introduce our what? Our spaces. Yes, right? Spacing. I can now say P or margin top C5, for example. Yes, I wanted to have something like that, a gap. You see, margin top, at the top of it I needed 5. Alright, I don't know whether we are getting what I'm doing. Then now let's concentrate on the work on this very header. You can hold down Control key and click on it. It takes you to header component, and this is our header component. So actually we are supposed not to welcome class of Consulting Limited. Maybe I just decided to bring in this for one to know the company responsible for this. But my interest is to start doing some simple touches on this application we want to come up with. IHR, KDSG, 23 local governments, whatever, things like this. So maybe we'll write, we rename it. Let's come to header, the bootstrap here. Now I copied for the second time. I copied this navbar, and then instead of saying welcome to wherever here, I will introduce this. Let me see, is there, it has a nav, it has nav, it started with nav, right? So let's introduce container. Of course, it's always good for you whenever you start in a new page, you start with what? Container, so you can have it responsive and all that. So you can have your class name, and then you call it container, right? Is it? Yes, container. Then inside it you put these yes, navbar is here, right? It is here, and yes, I want us to discuss this. It is not coming out. Why? Of course there is no JavaScript. The JavaScript we have not added yesterday for the Bootstrap. It's the one responsible for some little functionalities and all that. So if you are on a big screen like this is it, right? And if you are in a alright, so we need to add JavaScript for it to be coming down. So how do we do that? This is where we added the what? Do you understand what I'm saying? For you to integrate Bootstrap, you need to do the npm install, and then you need to have some files integrated into your work. And these are, I think, the CSS and the JS, right? The CSS, where are they? I'm browsing through. Yes, these are the two things we need for the Bootstrap to be completely installed. You know, we have installed this very one, and we went through these we went through what is it, the module, not module. Then we search for what? Bootstrap. This is Bootstrap. Then you go to dist, and then you move to CSS, right? This time around you need to check from what? JS, and then you copy, yes, this very one. So like it's the same installation, only that anyway, let me see if it's going to work in here. Otherwise we will have to use it inside use effect. So Bootstrap, dist, Bootstrap, yes. Then no, Bootstrap is not, yeah, Bootstrap, but this very one, bootstrap.main.js, right? Yes. .main, the what? Yes. JS. That's the only difference between the two. Yes. So I think we're done with that. Let me see if it's coming up. There's something here that says import threads for request module app.js can't resolve, so it has to be inside use effect. So in the use effect, let me see if I can. So you come to the entry point. The entry point is what? This is the entry point inside the public folder, I mean, inside the app folder, and we have something called layout, right? Yes. So inside the layout, you introduce use effect. Use effect is a method on its own. So before you return, you introduce it. And this is it. Use effect. You introduce an arrow function, of course with children, but not this way. An object and a dependency. Then you terminate. So inside the object, you introduce your input, but not this way, I think.
Are you still using CS? No, JS.
No, JS is there already. Let me